The Simpsons predicted the future. For decades, fans have pointed to The Simpsons as more than just a cartoon, but as a show that sees the future before it happens. From Donald Trump's presidency in the episode Bart to the Future, to the Siegfried and Roy Tiger attack foreshadowed in Springfield, to smartwatches, autocorrect, and even Disney's purchase of 20th Century Fox, the list is staggering. The wildest one? In 2012, physicist Simon Singh confirmed that an equation shown on Homer's chalkboard in The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace comes eerily close to predicting the mass of the Higgs boson particle over a decade before it was discovered. Of course, skeptics argue that with over 750 episodes, you're bound to hit a few accidental predictions. But the sheer accuracy, right down to details like faulty voting machines in 2008 or Team USA's curling win in 2010, keeps fans convinced there's something deeper going on. Homer is actually Krusty the Clown. This theory goes back to the show's earliest seasons, and once you hear it, almost makes too much sense. Homer and Krusty share nearly identical designs, the same face shape, the same build, just with different hair and makeup. The original plan, according to series creator Matt Groening, was actually to reveal Krusty was Homer all along, a secret double life explaining why Bart idolizes Krusty but disrespects his dad. Clues slip through in episodes like Homie the Clown, where Homer becomes a Krusty impersonator, so convincing that even the mob can't tell the difference. The theory argues that Groening abandoned the idea publicly, but left it embedded in the show's DNA, with Krusty and Homer existing as two sides of the same character, the bumbling everyman by day and the idolized entertainer by night. And if you think that sounds far-fetched, just remember the creators originally intended it. Springfield is a real place. For decades, fans have obsessed over one question: where exactly is Springfield? Every clue seems designed to confuse. Sometimes it's right next to an ocean, other times it's in the middle of the desert. The town has snow-covered mountains, vast forests, even landmarks like the Five Corners, a parody of the Four Corners, all within driving distance. Fans say that's impossible unless Springfield is meant to be every town in America at once. And that's the genius of it. By never pinning it down, The Simpsons makes Springfield a mirror of the entire country. But then Matt Groening threw gasoline on the fire when he admitted he named it after Springfield, Oregon, near his hometown. Suddenly, the theory split in two. Either Springfield is real and rooted in Oregon, or it's a shape-shifting satire that changes geography depending on the joke. The truth? We may never know, and that's why fans still argue about it decades later. Homer has been in a coma for decades. This is one of the darkest fan theories, and also one of the most convincing. The idea is that sometime in the early 90s, Homer suffered one of his many power plant accidents, or maybe a food-related disaster, and slipped into a coma. From that moment on, the show stopped aging. Bart stayed 10 forever, Lisa never reached high school, and Maggie never spoke. Everything since has been Homer's dream. The time loops, the bizarre celebrity cameos, the way dead characters reappear like nothing happened. Fans argue this explains the shift in tone from the grounded early seasons to the surreal, cartoonish later years. Springfield isn't a town anymore. It's the inside of Homer's brain. The theory turns The Simpsons into a tragic story about a man who never woke up, trapped in a fantasy where his family never changes, and time itself stands still. Moe is a former hitman. Why is Moe Szyslak so bitter, so paranoid, and so violent? According to this theory, it's because Moe wasn't always a bartender. He used to be a hitman for the mob. His shady connections to Fat Tony, his constant brushes with the law, and his extreme comfort with weapons all line up a little too well. He knows how to threaten, how to hide bodies, and how to clean up a crime scene like it's second nature. Fans even point to Moe's shifting backstory, boxing, shady family businesses, mysterious origins, as evidence that he's hiding something. The dingy bar is just his retirement cover, a place to lay low while his past catches up with him. It's why Moe's so miserable. He traded blood money for beer taps, and the ghosts of his old life never let him forget it. Lenny and Carl are secretly a couple. Lenny and Carl are inseparable. They work together, drink together, and sometimes seem more like an old married couple than just friends. Fans have long suspected there's more between them than the show openly admits. From the lingering glances to the way they bicker like spouses, to jokes where one admits the other is the most important person in his life. It's all been fuel for the theory that Lenny and Carl are secretly gay. Some fans even think the writers intentionally keep it vague, letting them exist in that gray area between best friends and lifelong partners. Whether it's true or not, their bond is stronger than almost anyone else in Springfield, which might be the show's subtle way of saying, it doesn't matter what label you give it. Ralph is Chief Wiggum's imaginary son. This one dives straight into creepy territory. Ralph Wiggum is strange. He doesn't act like a normal child. He doesn't even think like one. He blurts out nonsense, claims impossible things, and lives in his own world. Some fans say that's because Ralph isn't real at all. He's Chief Wiggum's imaginary son, a coping mechanism for Springfield's most incompetent cop. Maybe Wiggum lost a real child years ago, or maybe he invented Ralph as a way to distract himself from his failures. The theory explains why Ralph drifts in and out of reality, sometimes crucial to an episode, other times completely forgotten. If true, Ralph isn't Springfield's weirdest kid. He's Springfield's saddest ghost. Principal Skinner was replaced. This theory suggests the man we know as Principal Seymour Skinner isn't Skinner at all. In fact, he's Armin Tamzarian, a small-time crook who assumed Skinner's identity after the real one vanished. While the show once revealed this outright in a controversial episode, many fans think it wasn't just a gag. It was the writers sneaking in a deeper truth. Skinner's bizarre contradictions, war hero one moment, mama's boy the next, fit with someone faking their way through life. Springfield's residents seem to accept his identity, but sometimes you catch the suspicion in their eyes. Maybe Armin Tamzarian didn't just steal a name, maybe he stole an entire life. Maggie is actually a genius. Maggie Simpson doesn't talk much, but maybe she doesn't need to. Fans argue she's secretly the smartest Simpson of all, and she's hiding it. Time and again, she shows impossible skills. From shooting Mr. Burns to escaping kidnappers with ease. She can spell, solve puzzles, and even play instruments when no one's looking. The theory goes that Maggie is holding back, quietly observing everyone else's failures while she waits for her moment. Unlike Lisa, who flaunts her brilliance, Maggie is a silent strategist, letting the world underestimate her until it's too late. If true, she's not just the baby of the family. She's the one who sees everything, remembers everything, and could outsmart them all. Springfield is trapped in a time loop. Why has nobody aged in over 30 years? Why does history repeat sometimes with the same characters reappearing after death? The theory is that Springfield is trapped in a time loop, endlessly resetting itself every time it reaches the present. The characters relive their lives over and over, slightly different each time, which explains why dates shift, backstories change, and continuity bends without warning. To the audience, it looks like lazy writing. To fans of the theory, it's cosmic horror. Springfield is purgatory, a town cursed to relive itself forever. Nobody ever leaves, nobody ever grows old, and nobody ever truly dies. Barney was meant to be Homer. In the earliest concept art for The Simpsons, Barney Gumble looked almost identical to Homer. That detail sparked a fan theory. Barney was originally intended as the family patriarch, but when the design shifted, he was demoted to Springfield's resident drunk. Fans point to the way Barney mirrors Homer's worst qualities: laziness, gluttony, self-destruction, but without the love of a family to anchor him. It's like he's the what-if version of Homer, the path he might have taken if not for Marge and the kids. Every time Barney stumbles into Moe's, it's a reminder of the alternate Homer who never got his act together. Lisa is adopted. Lisa's intelligence and morality stand out in a family where chaos usually reigns. Some fans believe it's because she isn't actually a Simpson by blood. The theory goes that Lisa was secretly adopted, which explains why she doesn't share Homer and Bart's traits. Instead of gluttony or mischief, Lisa is disciplined, artistic, and socially conscious. Some point to her hair, a spiky anomaly even compared to her siblings, and her emotional distance from Homer as subtle clues. If true, Lisa's constant struggle to be understood takes on a whole new meaning. She isn't just different, she's the outsider in her own home. Smithers is the real power at the plant. Everyone knows Mr. Burns is Springfield's richest man, but some fans argue that his loyal assistant, Waylon Smithers, is the true power behind the throne. Burns is ancient, frail, and often confused, yet the plant still runs smoothly, thanks to Smithers. He knows every file, every employee, and every secret about the company's shady dealings. The theory says Smithers isn't just the assistant, he's the brains keeping Burns' empire alive, letting the old man take credit while he quietly pulls the strings. If Burns ever dropped dead, nothing would change, because Smithers already runs it all. The Simpsons predict the future on purpose. It's the most famous theory of all. The Simpsons don't just make lucky guesses, they actually know the future. Over the years, the show has predicted everything from Donald Trump's presidency to smartwatches, the Disney-Fox merger, and even faulty voting machines. Fans argue this can't all be coincidence. Some say the writers have insider knowledge. Others think Springfield exists outside of time, letting glimpses of the future leak into the show. The wilder theories suggest The Simpsons are aware they're fictional, and the predictions are their way of breaking the fourth wall. Whether it's conspiracy or comedy, the sheer number of times they've been right is almost impossible to ignore. The Simpsons will never end because they can't. This last theory is less about the show's universe and more about its existence. Fans argue The Simpsons isn't just long-running, it's eternal. The show exists in a self-sustaining loop, constantly resetting characters and timelines to keep itself alive. Every time a story ends, another begins with no lasting change, making the series effectively immortal. The theory goes that if the show ever did end, the fictional world of Springfield would collapse, like pulling the plug on a simulation. In other words, The Simpsons don't just refuse to age, they literally can't, because their reality depends on infinite reruns. It's not just television anymore. It's a machine built to last forever.